What's up, guys? Back to back. Here we go. Send us home, my friend.
Welcome back, everybody. If you're still here, then
Oh,
we know that you like us. If you're not, so what?
come
Welcome to
back.
another episode of the Uncommon Man podcast. As you know, I'm David. This is the host, Mike. What's going on, sir?
Hosts. That's plural, sir. This isn't.
Host.
This isn't. Well, I guess it's Uncommon Man. Maybe we should have named it Uncommon Men. Uncommon Men
Yeah, probably.
podcast. It just doesn't flow as well,
Probably.
though. But for the record, ladies and gentlemen, this is like South Park. This is the Trey Parker, Matt Stone process. It's not one without the other. So,
That
uh,
is true.
So that is how we operate here, and we want to talk about our favorite thing on the face of the planet, which is sports. And
Sports.
this has actually been a really productive week for pretty juicy news. So
Oh, hell yeah.
why don't we roll into what we were just talking about, buddy? Yeah, I think we, mostly you. I thought you had some really good points, and I want to impress upon him.
Yeah, so, off camera, we were just kind of talking about some people who had some incidents over this past off season with domestic violence. If y'all pay close attention to the NFL, there's guys from the Washington football team now. He's been released, and I'm pretty sure he's been suspended at this point. He's facing multiple domestic violence charges. There's been more people that came out that says, hey, he done this to us as well. Rashard Breeland, he was another one. He's been suspended indefinitely now over the same thing. Me and Mike were just talking that, I've been around football locker rooms, and for some people, they think this shit is acceptable. They think it's okay. Me and Mike was talking, and honestly, I think it's learned behavior.
And I 100% concur.
Yeah, at some point throughout these people's life, they seen somebody do it, and there was no repercussions for them. So in return, they think it's okay.
Oh, that was the environment they grew up in, dude. I mean, every single day.
The environment that they grew up in.
Right. Let's not kid ourselves, bro. I in my heart of hearts, and I don't know if you agree with me or not on this, I believe there's two types of people in life. There's people who are sociopaths because they're just broken and they just don't feel anything. They've completely cut off emotions. And there's people who are a product of their environment. And from that point in time, however you're raised, when your little hard drive has nothing on it and it starts getting jacked full of RAM, if that RAM is people getting the shit kicked out of them, most likely, dude, that's going to be how you conform your lifestyle. So until you hit a breaking point and realizing that there's got to be some therapeutic way to prevent yourself from becoming that recurring theme.
Yeah, absolutely. One of my mottos that I've always had with dating is if it ever got to the point to where I need to put my hands on you, then I need to get away from you. Throughout my whole entire life, I've known people who have done domestic violence. I'm a product of domestic violence from my parents fighting and different things like that. Again, I never learned that behavior because I understood that it's wrong. You shouldn't do it. I'm not much of a fighter anymore, but if I'm gonna put my hands on somebody, it's gonna be another male. I mean, more than likely, it's going to be another male. It's not going to be a woman. I don't argue with women, so I don't ever see myself put my hands on a woman, and that's not part of who I am. That's not part of me. But again, I think some of these guys need to understand that shit that you learned a long time ago, this shit is not cool. It's not acceptable. Like, hey, it is wrong. You shouldn't hit women, especially hit multiples.
Yeah, as if we're not beating that dead horse anymore.
Yeah, it's hitting multiples. When you get multiple people coming out and say, yes, he abused me too, it's like at some point you got to understand, like, dude, it's wrong. But, I mean, let's face it, though. Darius Geis he's had character issues concerned back when he was in college.
Yeah.
And also those came out when he got drafted as well. So it's one of those things like, well, he kind of proved you right because you already knew this about him when you drafted him. That's why he slipped in the draft, because he had those issues. You knew about it. You heard about it already. Just like with DeAndre Baker. Same thing. A lot of people said that he had character issues coming out. But again, just some of that stuff can be overlooked because it's, it's hearsay, right? Some people say he was a great guy. Some people say he was a piece of shit. I guess you just have to sit back and let somebody prove you wrong or prove you right at some point.
Yeah, dude. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter what happens. There's just no real reason to. There's plenty of reasons. I think Bill Burr put it perfectly. There's plenty of reasons to beat the shit out of a woman, but you just don't do it. You just don't do it, dude. Like, and just like you, bro, I grew up in a fucking highly volatile household. And it's taken, dude, I mean, I didn't know any other sort of relationship other than like yelling at each other. I mean, I grew up fighting, dude. I grew up playing hockey. I grew up doing football. Basically everything competitive that you could possibly think to just stack on to my psychotic dilemmas that I had going through. Like, and then like just the animosity that was inside of my household growing up. It was just a recipe for disaster, bro. It's amazing that I never ended up in jail. So I'm so glad I joined the military, man. That straightened me out to an extent because I was able to finally just get out, separate myself from all that shit. But yeah, dude, like for the first fucking, I don't know, like 6 years of my dating relationship, I would say, like, dude, I didn't know how to function without yelling at somebody. It was so weird to me. Like once I finally met somebody who she never matched my energy at any point in time. She never matched my energy, dude. And it brought me from just sitting there waiting for my pint of blood to way the hell down here, dude.
Yeah.
And, man, like I said, it just changed my life. And I don't condone anything that's happened from these individuals. DeAndre Baker's a fucking idiot. That has nothing to do with domestic violence. He's just a fucking idiot. But like when you look at like the Darius Geis thing, obviously there's going to be a lot of cracks in the wall before they finally fill them and figure out exactly what happened with that whole situation. But a couple counts of rape, as well as the fact that this guy has a history of being a head case, like it's not boding very well for this dude. So I don't know, man. If nothing else, I hope the guy, just like with the AB problem, dude, like that guy, he completely went off the rails. We don't know what it is, CTE, whatever it could be. But at the same time, I wish them all well, dude. Everybody deserves a second chance. And I just hope for a recovery. Well, no. All right. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. But yeah, if he comes out with that one, you're on your own, buddy. Like if that comes out to be true, you're kind of on your own.
I'm not coming back from that one.
But either way, though, like I still I don't know, man. Like the whole thing, that's that weird gray area that you really just hope that nobody encounters because there's no real answer to it.
Yeah, you don't know until you're in the situation. But off those losers, let's get to some other people. It's been some
good people. It's been a fucking sweet week in sports, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
and we have sports back.
Well, there's been a couple of injuries around the league, which
league are you talking about, sir?
I feel in NFL, which I feel like in years past there were probably more at this point, but hey, just a few. Surprisingly to me, Gerald McCoy, his injury, not so much his injury that, they just flat out cut him after his injury. They just flat out just nixed him, which to me that was a little bit bizarre because, he signed a pretty big deal, and for them just to nix him like that was like that was a little bit strange to me. On how they just, I don't know the full details of his contract.
What team was he playing with? Or I'm sorry, what team did he sign a contract with? He didn't even get to play with.
Yeah, he did with the with the Cowgirls, but
yeah. So I don't hold a candle to the flame for that one, bro. There's like as soon as they cut him, I was just like, yeah. Well, who's shocked? That Dude, just in general, man, their entire defensive line at this point in time is just like washout veterans. It's not like none of them are homegrown cases because none of them can stay on the field. And I don't want to go on to like some tangent about the Cowboys, but at the same time, like that, like their kryptonite for drafting defensive linemen is like the Denver kryptonite for drafting a quarterback. It's just horrible. Like even DeMarcus Ware, man, yeah, he's had so many great seasons, but 3/4 of his career until he was in Denver was just on it was on injury list.
Mm-hmm.
Not, something football related, whatever the hell it ended up being. But and then you even look at like their linebackers. Just defensively, that team, they cannot draft people who are stable.
They fall apart. Absolutely, they fall apart.
So
yeah, but then we got Miles Sanders with his injury. Yeah. And as far as the injuries, I think that's all I know of, unless there's some no-name people that kind of got the injury bug out there.
There was a handful of like crap wide receivers here and there. I say crap, they're professional athletes. I'm sorry, guys.
Well, there's offensive lineman that tore his ACL too.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Who was that?
Dude, I can't remember. There was some offensive lineman. He tore his ACL real early.
This is how prepared we come for these guys.
You know, hey, it's just sports talk. It's all good.
This is how prepared we come for these.
Well, dude, but, I mean,
we know about them.
Production of people, yeah.
But we know about them. So this is the quality of content you guys are getting from us. So enjoy.
Hey, dude, it's fans for a reason, not fucking draft analysts and experts.
That is correct, and we don't pretend to be because we're not. So hey. But yeah, no, dude. So how are that one team that we seem to have a little bit of an admiration for? How are they doing?
All right.
They look pretty
No,
decent.
bullshitting. So for anybody that's following the Broncos right now, so every day, you know, media coverage has been a little scarce. It's been a little different than in years past, but they've been streaming so much of their practice on YouTube, and that's kind of where I've been catching it. So everything that you're hearing, to me, in my opinion, is as advertised. The people that you hear that are actually doing good, that are rock solid, I can't confirm everything that you're hearing as far as people on the offense, people on the defense. And anybody that they're saying that's pretty much sucking, again, I can 100% occur. I can agree with that. From what I've been able to see, like they post maybe like an hour-long video of just different practice. I sit there and I watch the whole thing, and I sit there and I analyze it as far as who's doing good, who's doing bad. Drew Lock is looking really good. He's looking
awesome.
Commander. He's looking like Commander-in-Chief. As far as the offensive line goes, everybody looks solid other than who, Elijah Wilkinson. Again, that dude, he's not a right tackle. He's playing out of position, and he's going up against Von Miller in practice. And I don't know if y'all seen Von Miller lately. That dude
looks like a fucking prized horse, bro. Have you seen his thighs? Holy shit.
So there's no wonder why he's getting beat like a drum but again, it's Von Miller. As far as wide receivers,
this guy's in his 10th year now. Shit, but he's going his 10th year, bro, and he literally looks better than any of them. Like,
this is the best.
When I saw pictures of that guy, I was like, "What the fuck, dude? He's like a Grecian god out there, man.
Yeah,
he just looks insane."
But we say this about Von Miller every single year. Like, oh my gosh, like, have you seen him? Like, have you seen him? I mean, we were saying this for like the last 3 or 4 years. It's been the same way. The dude is, I mean, this is the best I've ever seen him look.
His receding hairline's brutal. He's definitely getting that horseshoe balding, but his physique, bro. I mean, he looks like if he can maintain and stay like, the muscle mass that he's put on, which you can tell he's put on some serious muscle mass. Like if he maintains through the season, guy's horrifying, bro.
Yeah. I think we need to have a competition on best physique between him and Noah Fant. Because Noah Fant,
Yes.
gosh,
Yeah, he's
like I'm
absolutely
not trying to
stunning.
cream over grown men right now, but damn, I mean, like you got to give credit where credit's due. Like those dudes spent the all season in the right way for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, there's another one, dude. You want to talk about picking up an absolute fucking gem? How about Noah Fant, bro? As opposed to his counterpart there at Iowa. TJ Hawkinson, man, he can't stay off the injury list. He's still basically not participating in practices right now because he's quote unquote injured.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, so
we're
for everybody who was kind of mad that we took Noah Fant instead of the linebacker from Pittsburgh, like it's worked out. So you can kind of see, you know, we did make the right decision. But again, Noah Fant, he's another one that it is as advertised. I mean,
yeah,
there's
I'm excited,
no.
dude.
I think he is lengthening the gap between him and the other tight ends to where it is without a doubt he is the number one tight end. Um, Jake Butt, and you know he's
Yeah, what
looking
did you think
better. I mean,
about that, dude?
well, he does look good. You know,
Good.
the
Okay.
issue with Jake Butt was never his talent; it was him staying healthy.
Right.
So the talent is there. He looks determined. He looks hungry. You can see him out there. He looks good, but it's just will he stay healthy? Nobody knows.
Right.
Albert O, he looks like a rookie, in my opinion. Like, I don't want to hear anybody talk about any kind of smoke between Fant and Albert O. Because I'm going to let you know right now, it is no comparison.
Yeah, I don't.
Noah Fant is
Yeah.
definitely your day one starter, period.
Yeah, I don't think there was any argument. I think the coolest thing, or the thing about Albert O, was the fact that, and you and I have gone back and forth on this a few times. He wasn't brought in to be like some breakout tight end. The biggest deal about it is he already had chemistry with Drew Lock, and he was Drew Lock's favorite red zone target. So
Mm-hmm.
you're looking at a big body dude who's an absolute beast when it comes to his 40 time. I mean, the guy's a sprinting champ, just the same as Noah Fant is. It just opens up the offense even more. So if he's I haven't been following this guy, so just to let you know, yeah, I'm the dud in this whole process. But I'll heed to you. How has he been looking for what they really drafted him for, which is
Who,
catching
Albert
TDs?
O?
Yeah, which is catching TDs.
He's looked okay. Out of everybody on the list, I say he's third. Nick Van Ness is fourth. No, I take that back. Noah Fant, Jake Butt, Albert O, Fumagalli. You know,
Nice.
that's the
Okay.
forgotten tight end. Then
Yeah.
Nick Van Ness. That's how it's kind of looked, in my opinion, as far as the tight ends. So somebody out of the five is going to go. Um, who knows who that's going to be? But definitely, there's no doubt that that Noah Fant is definitely going to be your number one tight end. Now, when we go to the other draftees, Jerry Jeudy has been, again, all the hype. Believe all the hype about Jerry Jeudy. After
That's
seeing him
awesome.
in practice, running with the ones, running with the twos, you believe every single thing that the people are saying coming out of Dove Valley about Jerry Jeudy. It is 100% the truth. They're not just overhyping him. I mean, that hype about that dude is 100% legit. So let's get into KJ Handler. He's looked better than we thought that he would look. But again, he's going up against twos and threes. They throw him in a little bit on the ones, but mostly he's going up against twos and threes. He's looking pretty decent there. Uh, in my opinion, Cushenberry looks like the best center, but
Well, the hype's
Schlottman's
around
been there.
Schlottman right now. So what's going
Yeah,
on
all the
between the
hype's been
two?
on.
Right, but tell me what your eye test tells you. So give me your reasoning.
What my eye test tells me, and I'm just going to be honest, it's only a matter of time before Kush takes it. It is a seniority battle. That's why they haven't bumped Jerry Jeudy up to 100% with the ones.
Yeah.
He starts with the twos. And anytime you see him, Jerry Jeudy is more than likely he started with the twos, then they're working with the ones.
So okay, well,
Same thing with Kush.
so well, that's what I'm saying. Is what have you seen so far that Kush has been outperforming Schlottman in with?
Um, I say he looks Slotman has gotten better as far as with his anchoring and his power, but as far as like the command of the offensive line, to me, Kush looks better, and I think that's what I'm looking for is somebody that can come up there and hey, start pointing people out. Back when we had when Paradis was
Right.
center, that's what I want to get back to. Is back to when we had Paradis as center. Is Slotman that guy? Maybe, possibly, but I think Kush is a
I think we all
little
know he's
further
not.
ahead. Yeah,
No, nobody's going to make any argument.
maybe,
He's
but I
not.
think Kush is a little further ahead
Okay.
in that aspect. Okay, so let's flip. Okay, running backs. And this is going to be the last one I'm going to finish up with. I told everybody, and I told everybody, it is a reason why they brought in Melvin Gordon, and it really shows. When explaining to some of y'all, when playing running back, it is a difference in catching a 5 yard out and catching a pass 10, 15 yards downfield. It is 100% different. It is different how the quarterback is even going to throw that ball at a 5 yard swing route versus being downfield 10, 15 yards. Melvin Gordon looks like a more natural passer than Philip Lindsay. So it shows they brought Melvin Gordon in for a reason, and it's starting to show. Okay, let's flip to the defensive side of the ball. I texted you this earlier.
Yes.
Draymond Jones looks fucking great.
Love it,
From
dude.
what I've seen,
You and I are both
looks
completely
fucking
on
great.
board for that guy. Ended up being he's going to be a franchise character. They're going to tag him.
Absolutely. Me and you talked about this, and I've heard analysts, and all these other people. I've heard them talk about this, and I just didn't see it that way. A lot of people think our quarterback situation is an issue still. Personally, I don't think it's as big of an issue as people think because you got to remember, we got back. Uh, what's his name from Chicago?
Callahan.
Callahan. Callahan is back now. If you remember from last year, before Callahan just could not go, they say he was a wet blanket all over everybody. Damn it, it's the same thing. Dude, Callahan being back in the lineup with AJ Bouye and Callahan, dude, our cornerback room looks better than what I think people initially thought that they were. Now, when you get to the 3 and the 4, you're still going to get some production.
What do you think of Bassie and Ojemudia? Are they both playing in twos?
Bassie, I'm just going to be honest with you. We thought Bassie was going to be a dark horse. I'm not so sure.
That's too bad.
The preseason is fucking over people like Bassie, people like Bellamy, Stranad. It's Tyree Cleveland. It's effing over those guys because they're just not getting the shine that they could is playing in the preseason. Ojemudia, he's looking good. He's coming along better. Douglas Coleman, he's looking good at the safety position. I even think Stranad is looking good. What's the guy name from Arkansas?
McTelvin Game.
He's looking good too.
Excellent.
Looking good too. I think he's as advertised.
So that's why I'm going to tell you that our cornerback situation isn't that much of a big issue for me. I think that they came into this draft with a really good approach as well as free agency, and that is relentlessness on the defensive line. Like, if you are constantly pressuring a quarterback, like, you don't really need that much effort from your cornerbacks, especially when you have an elite safety crew to help cover. When you just have an endless line of pass rushers, people who are just constantly depleting the offensive line and beating the shit out of them to end up. I think our defensive line is really going to end up offsetting any anemic portions that we have in our cornerbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I think this defense is going to be a top 3, possibly the best in the NFL, and I'm saying that arrogantly. I think that they're that.
What I even found that somebody is looking pretty good is Josie Jewell. and not from
I
an
hope so.
athletic standpoint, but from his smarts and him knowing the defense, he looks pretty good in that aspect. Um, Dude, it's really no complaints. I think yesterday when I was watching him, Drew Lock, he dropped back and he threw an interception to Kareem Jackson, and I was like, guys, you got to think about it like this. That defense has been together going on the second year. Now it's just fine tuning. This offense, this is the first time in this offense. So initially starting out, the defense is going to beat up on the offense. But I think now the offense is starting to give it to the defense a little bit more from what I see today. But again,
Every
everything
snap that
is
they
as
take,
advertised.
that's fantastic. And every snap that they take, like in preseason, whatever, if your defense is elite, your offense has got to match that. At some point in time, they're gonna get better. It's little brother
Yeah.
beating up, or big brother beating up on little brother. At what point in time is little brother gonna match big brother?
Yeah.
So, like they are.
And we have a top defense too. Like we have a type defense
Oh
with
yeah,
just studs on top of
horrifying.
studs.
People are
We have,
completely. People are sleeping on that defense, dude. They have no
yeah,
idea how
absolutely.
deep that defense is, bro. When it, especially the only thing that I would say that they have a halfway concern about, and you mentioned Sternad earlier. I think he's going to end up making the final roster. I'm not even concerned about it. Would probably be the inside linebacking core. And after Alexander Johnson showed up and showed out last season, I mean, that really, really helped him out. But when you talk about just pass rushing, dude, I mean, we're so stacked that guys last year that had 5-6 sacks won't even make the team this year. Like Malik Reed, he's probably not going to end up making the final roster, man.
Well, so here's the thing. After Von Miller and Chubb, who's been looking the best?
Yeah, who has been? You've been following. Obviously,
Tachu.
Draymond Jones. Yeah,
Well,
that was a
Tachu,
great.
he's been looking pretty good, and also the kid from Oregon, he's been looking pretty good too. Hollins,
Yeah, Justin Hollins. Yeah,
Justin Hollins.
nice.
I would say they have looked better than Malik Reed. Um, but that doesn't mean that Malik Reed would get cut or anything like that. I mean, because they could easily roll Hollins at, I guess, but not play him at inside linebacker, but list him as a linebacker. Because I mean, who are you going to take as an inside linebacker? Okay,
Well, I mean,
so they can technically put him there, put Malik Reed on the roster as well.
unless he leaned out this offseason, bro, there's no way. I mean,
Yeah.
they bulked him up last year, and this was under Fangio, so they bulked him up last year to play outside linebacker as a rotational piece. So unless they had him lean back out to play inside linebacker, like he was kind of doing that hybrid spot of outside, inside at Oregon, like I mean, they're gonna just have him as a rotational piece behind Von Miller and Bradley Chubb.
He's looked better at outside linebacker every step of the way.
Okay, so then that's what
Josh Watson at inside linebacker, he's looked pretty good too.
Nice. Okay.
Man, it's again, if anybody that you hear is doing great at practice, again, it as I've advertised, take it at their word. Anybody that's doing bad, again, take them at the word for it. Like if everything's on the up and up. I mean, everything looks good. Everything is rocking and rolling. Like even the coaches. I mean, even the coaches on the sideline. Mike Munchak and even our new OC, they look like they're gelling pretty well together. And then you got Big Fangio being Fangio. He's amping up that defense to really stick it to the offense. So that's making them better overall too.
Right. Yeah, dude. I got to be honest, man. I really like the Fangio signing, dude. And it's just it seems like it's paid, dividends at this point in time, keeping him around. And it's just nice seeing a second season. More anything else, like the majority of the team seems like they're buying in.
Yeah, for sure.
Like they know who he is. There's none of this political bullshit to it. The guy, he's a crusty old dickhead, but he knows what the fuck he's doing. He's proven. So people are buying in. That's why the only people we've already gone into detail about, who's opted out for the season and who didn't want to play. So, which, no shocker there. But the team, by the sounds of what you've explained so far, is all in, and especially the fact now we have somebody at the helm who they can believe in.
Adult at the helm. That's important. But other than that, man, everything's been good. Again, everybody, y'all can watch them on YouTube. You can go directly to the Denver Broncos page on YouTube, and you can watch clips, highlights. You can watch the live stream. The live stream is pretty early in the day. I think I normally catch it around 10, 11 o'clock. That's when I start tuning into it. But again, they have their clips all day. So tune in, watch, y'all. You will see pretty much the same thing that I'm looking at. Again, with media coverage being a little scarce this year, that's our way of really keeping tabs on it.
Excellent, guys. All right, so that pretty much wraps up kind of sports. Obviously, everything is dominantly about the Broncos, but we tap on everything. So if you guys have any questions, comments, you want us to talk about your team, you want us to give us some ideas, give us some reasons to research your team a little bit further. We are pretty well in tune with what's going on around the league. Obviously, we have a passion for the Broncos, but we love hearing about the Browns. We love hearing about, I don't know, the Seahawks for all I care. Not the Cowboys or the Raiders, but either way, we'll still have a conversation with you about them. So make sure, subscribe down there. I know it's hacky and cliche at this point, but it helps us out, guys. We are trying to grow the podcast. We do also have the Twitter, which will be in the comments section, or at least a subsection for the description. I will have that. I'll put it in there. Other than that, what else you got for me, buddy?
That's it, man. You have a good night. Kiss the fam. We'll see you next time, bro. All
right, guys. Enjoy. Later, buddy.
All right.